baseball fans, welcome to a World Series wrap edition of 6-Inning Stretch. He is 3-time All-Star, recently retired baseball player who has so many accolades. Go watch our first episode if you want to know them, or go to Wikipedia. That's what Merrifield. And I'm his best friend, Lindsay Dunn. That's not true.
I'll tell you about him.
Yeah. Yes. Please ask him, tweet at him, whatever you want. This is brought to you in the Sports Interaction Studio in Whit. Whew, we have a lot to talk about.
How you doing, Linz?
Thanks for
Can
asking.
I call you Linz?
Yeah, because my friends call me Linz or Dunner, so that means we're officially best friends.
I don't like Dunner. I'm gonna call you Linz.
Oh man. Thankfully, I feel like a new person because I slept an hour, which is, I feel like, more than the last couple episodes we had, but I'm at my own home. I haven't really processed what happened, but I do love that you put out a mental, like, how we doing check on Twitter. What was it like reading the reactions yesterday?
I went to bed right after I put that up. I just counted on people just using my Twitter as a vent set, or X, I should say, as a venting platform. So yeah, I went to bed right after I put that up. So I'm doing better than your dog is.
Yeah, my dog Sophia is not happy with
you, apparently.
Hey, a fun fact. So I think you may know this. I'm a BBC correspondent for like the last 8 years about basketball and baseball. And I was quoting Miles Straw the other day about talking about Max Scherzer, where he said he looked pissed off. Apparently, you're not supposed to say that on British TV or radio. It is viewed as vulgar and offensive.
So, wow. Okay.
Like
BBC.
Yeah.
Ticked off is the new vernacular.
They're like,
I'm on it.
He looked angry. I'm like, oh, my apologies. In 8 years, I've never once been told you can't say that. But yeah.
No, bloody hell.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
What? That's
wanker. You look like a wanker. Is that better?
I needed this today, man. Can you humor me and just let me tell you about my Game 7 experience quickly?
Sure.
Real quick, actually.
I'll listen while I check my fantasy team. All right.
Yeah, you can do what I tell my husband and friends, act like you care time when you don't actually.
Go for it.
But also quickly to the people that are joining us that you're new to our podcast or you've been an OG. Someone said such a nice message to me in person yesterday saying how much they loved our podcast and they can't wait for it next season. I'm like, whoa. We are here until at least June. We have a contract. We will have player interviews from current Jays, previous Jays, your teammates. We have a couple field trips planned. I am pumped. I'm going to be seeing you at your golf tournament in December, but like we're not going anywhere. We'll help with the baseball layover and heartache, people. Stay with us.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and you're going to help people with their fantasy footballs, including mine, because I forgot to update my roster the last couple weeks. I've been a little busy. Okay, so I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm not really sad today because the perspective I have is quite annoying that I never once growing up thought I would ever be at a World Series game. I never thought I would cover a World Series because honestly, it just didn't seem like a dream that was possible. So I didn't think about it. Like it's not one thing that crossed my mind ever. Like Super Bowl, all that stuff. Yeah. NBA finals, NHL finals, but World Series just didn't seem obtainable. So I just covered the team that I've loved since I was a kid, go to Game 7 and have historic moments, crazy games, 18-inning games, blah, 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 blah. And it's cool. Did I want them to win? Absolutely. But there's 4 times, Whit, that I almost cried because I have not cried yet about this. And I'm going to tell you them and hopefully I don't cry like a big old baby because I don't want you to make fun of me for the next 5 months. Brace yourself. 2 words like my eyes go like they welled up a little bit. The first 2. So one when Bo hit his first postseason home run ever, which gave the Jays a 3-1 lead. For 60 seconds, I believed, and I had to check myself. I walked away from my media seat and was like, "There's so much baseball left to be played. Cool it, kid. Cool."
Pause. Was that place vibrating?
It was insane.
Was it shaking? It looked wild.
Like it felt like my teeth were chattering. Like the hair went up on my arms. It was electric. You just felt that joy and that everyone was tasting it. Like the Jays are going to win at home and beat the Dodgers. That's what that mood was.
Love it.
And then when Vladdy had that hit, because from where I was seeing, it seemed like it was going to go out for a moment. I was like, holy F and shitballs. I just swore anyway. Sorry. I thought for like 5 seconds, not even, that Vladdy just did it. And then I was like, okay, eyes welled up and I was like, whatever. 2 worst parts were going to the clubhouse after. I was waiting there, and before the game, I'm an annoyingly superstitious person, and I don't know if you know that. Like, I will wear pink on days I think they're going to clinch, purple on games I think they're going to win because it's my fault if they don't lose, or if they lose. Yeah, I'm that person. Like, I'll move my laptop. It's hell to be around me during the news. I have no impact on this team. It is a legit problem with, and I need help, but it is stressful AF to watch this when you have the mental problem. So I told my camera, I'm like, if a thing happens that we will not talk about, one of the only people I want to make sure I interview is Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly. He will finally get that ring. He's a wonderful human. If you have the chance to meet him, and like, I know you know him and blah, 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 like, he's just awesome. And I wanted it for him. And we're waiting there, and he walked by with like his kid, and his kid clearly was upset, and you just see Don's face. And apparently, like, there was a video or something shown on the broadcast. I haven't seen the game because I was there in person. I haven't seen anything on TV yet, where he was just sitting there and Bo gives him a big hug. But then when we go in the clubhouse, I've been covering sports for 15 years, and I've never seen a clubhouse that sad. So many tears and sadness. Like, Ernie was the first person I saw, and he just is such a kind human. Like, he's your buddy, you know him. And we'll play a clip from his availability later in the show. But I told my camera, I'm like, the guy I want to find is Chris Bassett. You know, I'm a huge fan of Seabass. He's going to be a free agent. I want to talk to this man and also just tell him on a personal level how much I appreciate that him and his wife donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to Jay's Care. I know this is a nerdy thing to do, but they don't brag about it. They're these people that go do their things. They don't post it on social media every 5 seconds about how they're doing things in the community. And they're just also really fun. And he's been putting up with my crap for years. And I will miss him at the ballpark if he's not there. And so I try to very delicately ask him a question. Because, like, if anybody saw Bo's availability, he was asked before Game 6, after Game 7, like 100 times, are you coming back? Are you coming back? So I just said, like, paraphrasing, are the emotions like a little heightened right now, looking around, knowing where you may or may not be next year? And for me, I've told you this, he's so intimidating, and he shouldn't be because he's so nice, but I'm slightly terrified of him because I view him as like this giant big brother, even though I'm older than him. And he broke down and cried. So I'm sitting beside him, and he has tears coming down his eyes. Like, he's not bawling. But I also don't want to be that girl that's crying in the clubhouse because there's only 2 or 3 of us that cover it on a regular basis. Like, there was more because of finals. But like that one, I almost lost my mind. And my camera guy was just looking at me, like, trying to make eye contact, like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And this next one you probably won't expect, and I don't think anyone will hear it anywhere, but I feel this moment, I felt like somebody punched me in the stomach and then kicked me in the nuts, and I don't know what that feels like because I don't have those parts, but I imagine it hurts. Maybe? Yeah?
It's not good.
Yeah. So I felt like it felt like it was that combo.
So there's a round plastic thing that you put in your pants to keep yourself from getting hit in that area. But continue.
Well, I felt like I didn't have that. And I just got hoofed with like a steel toe boot. I'm sitting at my computer. I get to my press seat in the media box, and I look up. It's 2 a.m. and I look in the field. And on the field, it's the grounds crew who, like, when you're at the game, you know, like, I talk to them all the time. They're my buddies. I adore them. And they had to clean up the confetti. And I looked up, and they're on the field cleaning the confetti up. And they're mostly Blue Jays fans. They root for this team. They're around the team all year. And they had to be there celebrating, well, not celebrating, but cleaning up the celebration. And that one hurt me. I felt it in my soul because they don't want to be doing that. They want to go home. They wanted that team to win. And before the game, I told them, because we joke all season long about how they like bug me because I'm on TV, that I'm like, I'm actually going to interview you guys if this thing happens because you deserve your time in the limelight as well. Like, you're a huge part of getting the batting cage ready, home plate, getting the mound. And I, like, here it is right now is just a little bit of the video if you're watching on YouTube. I looked up and, like, they're just cleaning up all the confetti. And then to the right, it's the families and friends of the Dodgers. And they get to celebrate there. They deserve it. They've earned it. But that one killed me. But then today I had a really cathartic experience with because I have YouTube. Not because like I'm trying to be anything. It's just because I want people to actually watch the interviews I do if you don't have cable and you don't watch the station I'm on. Because there's awesome people I get to talk to and I want you to see them. So I have it though that I will stop the comments and they have to go through me first before I approve them. and I'll moderate them. And I had the joy of deleting everyone that either put a jerk comment about a player, whether it be a Dodger or a Blue Jay or a racist, homophobic one. And that was actually great. So I'm like, you wrote like a page of ripping this player new one, and it's not going to see the light of day on my channel. Go to someone else's. Anyways, a lot of that was directed at IKF. So let's go into the game.
Yeah. What do you want? You want to talk Game 7?
Yeah, let's go with Game 7. And actually, I'll just start at IKF because you had a tweet that went viral. It has over 1 million impressions, but I wanted to ask this anyway because people kind of giving him grief and actually threatening to break his legs and giving him death threats about how he ran the bases. But I would just quickly like to say, most of these mofos that are saying this couldn't run a base properly if their life depended on it. So Whit, you're the expert. Tell us why he was correct.
All right. So this is like spring training, like week 2, like base running 101. Like it's taught every year the same way from rookie ball to the big leagues. On every team I've been on, and every team I've ever heard about, teaching it this way. And that is with the bases loaded and less than 2 outs. As the guy on first base, you are just inside of the first baseman. So you get to just inside the first baseman or even closer to the bag. And you don't get outside of him because you don't get a secondary, because the last thing that you're going to do is get doubled off on a line drive to him that he can catch it and tag you or tag the bag. So you get inside of him and you don't move. You don't take a secondary. So you're not getting a big lead. Second base, same thing from the shortstop and second baseman. Like you don't get outside of them or even close to being outside of them because you're not getting doubled off. Third base, what you do is you get same type thing. You get you see where the third baseman's playing. If he's playing close to you, you just get to the point where if there's a line drive that is hit to the third baseman, that is hit to his arm side, so he catches it this way going towards third base and touches third base. You got to get to where that is not a double play ball. So not only are you positioned in the right way, but you're not getting an aggressive lead. You might get a little momentum going towards home, but nothing that you get going towards home. You see the ball hit, you make sure that it's on the ground before you run home. So it's not like when you go on contact, there's another play from third base. And that's when usually there's a runner on third, second and third, or third only, and the infield's drawn in. You're going as soon as the ball's hit. If it's a line drive, you get doubled off. That's just how it goes. But there's much more aggression to that. This is not aggression. This is a passive play. This is a play where we are counting on the hitter to get a base hit or a sac fly to drive the run in. We're not counting on scoring a run with the base runner creating a run. So that is put in your head to limit aggression. It is where you set up and not exactly like going towards home plate too hard. You are a little bit, but you're going towards home with the anticipation of seeing where the ball is hit. And once the ball is hit, you take an extra second to make sure that it's a ground ball, and then you go home. It's just a play. Like it's just a play that is taught. It is a play that is understood, and he did it. He did the perfect job of it. People are arguing that he could have got an extra foot or 2 feet. Yeah, in hindsight, if he gets an extra foot, then he might score. But it is a caution first play. It is always a caution first play. And you can imagine after the way Game 6 ended, there's extra caution from the coaching staff to the players that I don't want to get doubled off on the bases to end Game 7 of the World Series. So you just have to understand that this is something that's taught from spring training on. This is something that the third base coach is coming up to him in his ear, like, hey, stay close to the bag. Make sure you don't get doubled off. Freeze on a line drive. You can go back on a line drive. Like, we're not being aggressive here. Make sure the ball gets to the backstop if we're gonna score. Like, these are all the things that he's being told. So there's that cautiousness in his mind, rightly so, because that's what the situation called for. You are hoping that Varsho hits a fly ball or gets a base hit. If he hits a ground ball at an infielder, you're going to be out at home. That's just the way it is. And the fact that Rojas kind of got that in between hop and stumbled and made the throw home, and it was kind of bang bang. Yeah, okay, you can say that maybe that wasn't the right play at the time, Maybe you could have told IKF, look, we're not going on contact, but we're going to be a little more aggressive here. That's an argument you can have. Whether it's right or wrong, that's an argument you could have. But that's not what was told to him. And so because of what was told to him, he did the right thing. And I guarantee you, if the Dodgers were in the same position on the other side, their coach would have been in the runner on third's ear telling him the same thing. So the fact that people are getting on IKF it's just not fair. It's not right. And if you're arguing with it, argue with the play call. So this is how I related it as I was thinking about it. It's like, because I'm a football guy, I love football. It's like being on offense in a tie game, and you're on the 20-yard line going in with like 10 seconds left on the clock, and you run the ball up the middle just to get the clock down, call timeout to kick a field goal to win, and then the field goal gets blocked. And everyone's like, well, they should have thrown it. They should have tried to throw it to the end zone and get a touchdown, or run it something to get a touchdown. Okay, but that brings in more risk. That brings in the risk of an interception, brings in the risk of a fumble, whatever it may be. Like, so that's how you can question the play call. You can question the way they put the, I don't know, blinders, I guess you would say, on him, and that, hey, we're gonna make sure this happens. But that's what they did, and I think that every manager in baseball would have done the same thing. And so I don't think it was a bad call. I think it was just an unfortunate event that ended up happening.
We know that Vladdy is a big deal. Everyone knows that. But he's also got his own big deal over at Pizza Pizza. Now at Pizza Pizza, you can get Vladdy's big deal, which is a 3-topping double extra large pizza for only $19.99. How big is double extra large, you ask? 18 inches, 8 massive slices, only $19.99 over at Pizza Pizza. And a fun fact, Vladdy told Pizza Pizza he loves cheese pizza. Don't wait, swing by Pizza Pizza today or order on the Pizza Pizza app or online at pizzapizza.ca. Pizza Pizza, because everyone deserves pizza. And also not the reason why they lost the game.
Not the reason they lost the game at all. At all.
Like, people chill. I do want to play a clip from Ernie's post-game availability where I will always appreciate anybody being vulnerable in a scenario. And also I love the absolute hate I am getting in other people about interviewing players after a game. But it is league mandated in most North American sports leagues that players have to speak to us bozos before or after a game. And you can ask there were some questions that I'm like, get them out of this locker room or clubhouse because this is insane. But Jacob, if you have that clip of Ernie, that would be lovely. I don't know if you've even seen it. It's just, here we go.
I just love these guys so much. It was so much fun coming to work every day and, battling with these guys. And we have so much to be proud of, even though, it didn't go our way. All I care about is just hanging with these guys for, another couple hours.
That kid, it pulls at your heartstrings. But I know, you've been around with a lot of guys on this roster. You spoke to a lot of them when you were either visiting or in Toronto. Have you been a part of a team that it seemed like that chemistry and that camaraderie was so close? I don't know if it was with the South Carolina Gamecocks or.
Yeah, I've been fortunate to be on some great teams. And the ends of the year are always so hard. There was 2 or 3 teams towards the end of my time, in the beginning too, in Kansas City, that were special group of guys. And then honestly, my time in Toronto was incredible, especially that 23 team. And then I loved it. We had an incredible clubhouse in Philly. We truly did. So it's hard because, when the season ends, these are your guys that you've been with all day, every day for months, right? So you develop this bond and this friendship and this family. I mean, you're with them more than your family, so they are like your family. And then it's an abrupt ending, and then you may never see some of these guys again. There are people that I lived with, that I went to breakfast and dinner with every time we were on the road, most days at home in Kansas City, that when that season ended, I haven't seen them since. And that's just because like life goes, life takes you here, you get traded here, you go there, and you catch up at a wedding, or you try to plan a trip, but you got 3 kids, and it's there you don't realize it, but like these are people that you grow to be family with that you might never see again. And so it gets emotional, especially the longer you're in it, the more you realize how that works. And right, for them, I was never at that point where I was that close to winning a World Series. But when you win that World Series, and they'll still have it because they were American League champions, and so they'll still be sometimes when Toronto will bring them back and celebrate them for all that. But like when you win that World Series, you're forever bonded to that. Like you're always going to be associated with that group together, and there'll be reasons to get together, and there'll be reunions, and there'll be all this stuff. And when you don't win, you feel like you kind of miss out on that. And so it's like we were so close to forever being linked, and we fell a game short. And now it's like, like I might never see Chris Bassett again, or I might never see Max Scherzer again, or these guys that were free agents. And so, yeah, it hit you hard.
I don't want to hear those words again. It's the reality. It's the reality
of our sport. Like if you get traded and a lot of times it's like you get traded or cut and it's just like abrupt, and it's like, oh, I gotta leave. I gotta pack my bag and leave. And so it's there's a human element to it that is harsh. And people would argue, oh well, you're getting paid millions of dollars to do it, and they're not wrong, but it doesn't negate the fact that it is a difficult thing as a human.
Well, when you take away the people that don't get paid millions of dollars, whether it be some of the training staff or the public relations who like this is, and I'm not saying this because like I have no reason to say this, I'm not going to see them for months. They are the best in the business and that I've dealt with in all of the leagues that I've covered. They're such a joy to be around. They're fun. They'll be honest with you. If you can't have something, they'll try to get somebody for you. But for me, like I'm going to get through it fast, but it's like the security guards or like Ron and Tom who are always in the media room that deal with us. Like there's 2 security guards that I adore. They tackled apparently it's not a streaker, a guy that ran on the field that was an idiot. And I was like, I know those guys, but they're not coming back next season. And I found all of this out after the game. I'm like, this sucks. I will probably never see them again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse. Like you get to meet all these people from all walks of life, from all over the world, and you get to really get to know them and grow with them, and then like that, they're gone. So.
And then they come out of nowhere and they're like, "Hey, come be on a podcast and co-host it with me," and it's amazing. That's us.
Well, we were never boys before this, so
we're boys now.
When our contracts end, and if we don't get renewed, and we're just see you. I'll see you when I see you.
Delete. You're going to follow me on everything. I already know this. I've already prepared myself. There's a couple other things I want to bring up. People saying that Andreas was purposely trying to get hit. So I went and looked up the pitch doctor ninja thing after, and it showed that 3 were by his head. I just want your take on this, because one thing I did love about the game is when the dugout's cleared and the bullpen, and you see Trey Savage just smiling and the running out. Because like, I know the emotions are high, but it's so rare that you have a full-on clear-out, man. I was like, let's have it go!
Yeah, that was a bunch of eyewash. the clearing the benches. I mean, that was eyewash. It
was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, Andres was probably upset that he kept getting buzzed. It did look like the one time he took his hand off his bat and tried to get hit. I know there are times where if you're holding the bat and you get hit, it hurts way worse than if you happen to get your hand off and get hit. So maybe he was trying to do that. In the moment, it did look like he was trying to get hit. But yeah, I mean, I think he was just pissed that he kept getting buzzed, and it finally got him. And he chirped, and the guy chirped back at him, and that should have been it. Like, dude, I'm not trying. Like, I know you're pissed. Like, I'm not trying to hit you. But that's a rant for a different time.
Have you ever been in a full-on dugout clearing scenario? Because I don't remember if the Jays. Because I don't remember yesterday.
My 5th game in the big leagues. Yordano Ventura, God rest his soul, smoked Manny Machado 100% on purpose. and Manny charged, and I'm playing second base, and I'm one of the first people like to the scrum, and I'm still getting to know people. Like I don't really know anybody, and I don't know what to do in this situation. This is my first scrum. This is my 5th day in the big leagues. The last thing I want to do is jump in on Manny, either hurt Manny, hurt myself, or get suspended. It's my 5th day in the league. I'm trying to stick around, and so I'm just kind of like shuffling around the thing, like trying to figure out what to do. And so yeah, my 5th game was my first brawl. I've been a part of a couple others, but nothing really like. Oh yeah, this is it right here.
Let's see your shuffle.
Where am I? Yeah, right there. Yep, there me. That's my butt right there. Yeah, get out of the way, Peyton. I didn't know him. I grabbed on him because he was my AAA teammate. So he was the backup catcher. He might have been catching that game actually, but he got to the pile and I grabbed him because I was like, I know you, and he was kind of mad. Yeah, this is it.
Man, I'm glad we're doing this pod today. I needed this. This has been way too much laughter and joy. You weren't wrong on like your little shuffle move.
I was
game.
so unsure about what to do.
Well, that was my favorite part of yesterday, Game 7, aside from Bo's home run. Like that was hilarious because it was a bunch of nothing. One thing that I'm salty at, we'll see your take on it. A lot of people also coming after Varsho saying that he is the reason why the Jays lost in game 6 or 7. And I quickly just want to give credit to the Rabbit, the Wombat, whatever we're going with now. After game 6, he stood there and answered every question imaginable. 7, same thing. And he honest. He was polite to people, even though they were blocking his chair and he couldn't get to it. In a lot of other leagues, I know people would tell them, get the F out of my spot, move away from my locker. Man, he is an awesome human, but he is getting a lot of hate online. What did you think of his performance, or what do you make from that narrative?
Well, I would say first off, in game 7, the game would have been done in the 9th inning had he not caught that ball in center field with the bases loaded.
Yeah.
The game would have already been over. So, there's that. He probably single-handedly won game 1 with the homer he hit off Snell. If he doesn't hit that homer, I think that it would have been hard for the Jays to find momentum. So there's that. And I think Dalton's play, there's a lot. I mean, there you point to a lot of guys, but I think Dalton's play when he got back from the DL is probably, I don't want to say the lone reason, because there's a lot of guys that did so many good things, but I will say I think without Dalton's play coming back from the DL late in the year, I don't think the Jays win the AL East. So there's so much that Dalton did positive for that team that it's a shame that one at bat late in game 7 is kind of how people are remembering it. But it's kind of how our job goes, unfortunately. But it's up to people like us to remind people.
Hell yeah.
Don't be idiots.
Don't be idiots. Don't be bozos. Also, Dalton fan club
bozo.
for life.
My daughter's new word, by the way. Bozo. Yeah.
Really?
Bozo. She calls me a bozo. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, it's because you are one. I love the phrase that you taught her the other day, though.
I know. Standing on business. My wife said, you were standing on something. My wife goes, what are you standing on? I said, Sigurd, tell him you're standing on business. You're standing on business. I said, oh, yeah.
That's not how she sounded, but that was great.
No, but she's getting more oomph into the business part of it.
Oh, that was great. A couple performances to celebrate. Louis Varland becoming the first pitcher to have 15 appearances in one postseason. He is that dog. Side little note I loved is in the clubhouse after, I was only in front of his clubhouse. I'm like, do you mind? He's like, yeah, let's do this before they all come over, because he wanted to get out of there. And there was just swarms of media everywhere, and it made me laugh. It was such a moment that he's like, please just let's.
All right, so I want to talk about Varland real quick, because this is one of the things that I thought was awesome about Game 7 about John Schneider, who, like I've said before, we've had our disagreements, we've had our differences, but I thought him bringing Louis in to face Shohei late in the game was awesome. I thought the logic behind it was perfect. Louis kind of your guy out of the pen. Shohei has seen Fluharty multiple times now, so this is bringing in somebody fresh to go after Shohei, and it was a risky play because if it doesn't go in your favor, everybody's like, why didn't you bring the lefty to face Shohei and blah blah blah. I thought it was a great play. I thought it was a ballsy play, and I'm glad it worked out because I was sitting on my couch applauding it when Louis came in, and I'm glad he got the job done.
I did a low-key bark that no one could hear me in the media thing. I was like, look at that dog. Anything else from Game 7 that stands out to your mind? Because like we could go through about 50 million things, and everyone has issues with something or nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like those moments, like you try so hard late in the game, and it sucks because like Jeff Hoffman with Mickey Rowe, like it was the first homer Mickey's hit up a righty in 600 days or something like that. He hangs a slider that 9 times out of 10 Mickey is either popping up, rolling over, or hitting a line drive base hit. I would say even more than 9 times. Probably 99 out of 100 times. This just happened to all the stars aligned, and he happened to pop it and hit a homer. And the same with Bieber and Will Smith. Yeah, Will's a better hitter and a better slider hitter, but like pitching is so funny like that. You know, if Hoffy gets a different result, makes the same pitch, and Mickey fouls it off or rolls over to short, he's a hero, right?
Yeah.
But because the result was different, he's viewed different. And again, that's the nature of our sport. At the end of the day, the Dodgers just took advantage of more opportunities than the Jays did, got more big hits, made more plays. I don't know what the hell Kike was doing on Ernie's ball. Like he was playing like there was one out. He was playing like shot like deep short. It was strange. And that ball kept carrying, and I mean they collided at the wall.
Yeah.
Collided at the wall, and Pages, I don't know how to say his name, but ended up catching that ball. And just when that happened, it just seemed like it wasn't meant to be for the Jays that night.
Yeah, but so much to be proud of with this team, and they've said it over and over again. Nobody had them. Like people around the team, maybe the actual players, thought they'd be in the World Series. They inspired an entire country. They inspired countries. They inspired the states that they're from, their hometowns. Like we hear about the Bautista effect, the Joe Carter effect. People I don't even remember going to elementary school with and that have reached out to me to say how much they love the Blue Jays, or their kids are in baseball, or they're joining baseball, and blah, 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 blah. Like this has been my favorite team I've ever covered in my life. But I want to go to Game 6. 2 questions for you. Have you ever been on the field when a bozo went on and disrupted play when you were in the outfield not paying attention? And would you try to tackle them? Did you try to tackle them?
No, they tell you to stay away from them, especially now because you just never know what people are doing and what they have on them and how stupid they want to be. And so there's a big security meeting in spring training every year where we go over a lot of things, and that's one of them. They just say, stay away. So it's pretty rare you see somebody go at a streaker now. People tend to listen to that because there are some instances with some they bring up soccer a lot where some stuff has happened and they're like, just trust us. Don't be a hero and try to tackle these guys. Just stay away. So
I'm quite aware I have no upper or lower body strength, but I so badly want to be security, and I talk to those guys every day before and after the game, and I just so badly wanted to sandwich that person. And they, from what I understand, the person that went on the field, they thought like they would just get let go, and no, you go in a paddy wagon and you go to jail. Well, like you go in paddy wagon. Have you never heard that? Or
a paddy wagon?
Yeah,
like patty cake.
I think it's PADDY wagon. Isn't it slang for like Jacob? Look this up. Yeah,
paddy wagon.
This is like when you didn't know when I said something about a booze hound.
Wagon?
You didn't know what booze hound was.
That's the most unintimidating name for a police car I've ever heard.
It's probably British. I'm going to look this up while we do this, and I will continue to
I know I'm not about you. I just never heard of that.
Yeah.
An enclosed motor truck used by police to carry prisoners. So like like somewhere you just
I know words and
paddy
things.
wagon.
I'll say that on BBC Radio.
Right, where were we?
I don't
Paddy
even know.
wagon.
But I wanted to tackle them so much. But the guy, he thought he would just be like, oh, so he didn't know that that's actually like
It's a crime.
It's a crime, and probably won't serve the time. But like that's going to be on your record for a bit. And then, have you ever been in a game where the ball was lodged? That was, from my understanding, the first time that has happened at the Rogers Center. It's like all these little things.
Yeah, Rogers Center. There's not a lot of room for that. But yeah, I mean, again, that's spring training. That's like college almost. Where, yeah, anytime the ball is lodged, you put your hands up and then you go get it. And so, credit to Dean. The guy just came in the game. And he had this crazy play. He did the exact right thing. And, it's unfortunate because the game might look differently had he just gone and straight reached for it, or had the ball just not wedgied in the bottom of it. So just, again, talked about, the catch that Pajas made.
Yeah.
The wedgie happening just made it seem like maybe this just wasn't meant to be for the Jays.
This segment presented by Sports Interaction Sportsbook and Casino. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction, Canada's homegrown sportsbook. They have extensive betting options, player props, futures, and more. Whit, what do we got today?
We got to go with the 2026 World Series winner, futures bet, Toronto Blue Jays, plus 2,000. They have a lot of their same guys coming back. I imagine what just happened is going to make the front office quite hungry to go out and continue to get better, and look for the Blue Jays to feed off of what happened at the end of this year and fuel it into a World Series run for next year.
LFG, baby. Sports Interaction Sportsbook and Casino has you covered by pitch live betting and easy deposits and payouts. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. Go to sportsinteraction.com/BJN to open an account. Ontario only. You must be 19 or older. And remember to please play responsibly. Yeah, it's just random things. Like, we had an 18-inning game happen. It's just... Yeah. What a wild World Series. It was definitely interesting to cover. And a little behind the scenes moment that happened is obviously they would have the trophy for Game 6 because the Jays had a chance to clinch it. But because they had a chance to win in the 9th, they had the stage ready to be pulled out onto the field. And where it is actually halfway through where the players would walk in. You'll know this in like the left field to where the clubhouse is. And it got stuck. So when the players were trying to go see their families after in the family room, they had to squeeze by the stage. You can see this right here. This is the media. You had to go single file. Like, my camera guy got stuck trying to go through it because his camera got stuck on part of the stage. But I just thought, I'm like, that sucks for them that they had to like try to weasel their way around the actual stage. That's like World Series champion.
Yep.
It's
weird. Yeah, it's weird.
You want
to go back to Game 6? We can talk about the play to end it.
Yes.
The Barger play. Yeah. It goes back to the IKF thing. Like, and there's an argument to be made that Barger had more of a right to have a little bit more of an aggressive mindset because of him being at second base. They're struggling to score runs. You see a ball hit off the end of the bat. Like, I don't necessarily fault him for thinking right away that he was going to score and giving a couple crossovers. In hindsight, it's probably not the right play. You have to, even if it falls, you get to third. Now you're at third with one out as the tie and run. So, yeah, on paper, it probably wasn't the right play. But at the same time, you just hit a huge double. You got a lot going on in your body, juiced up. You actually scored, so you think you just scored, but you have to go back to second. And then there's a ball hit, and the crowd goes nuts right when the ball is hit. And so you hear that, and the first instinct is, I got to go. Unfortunately, those 2 steps ended up costing him. And just a great play by Mickey Rojas to pick that ball. That was not an easy play at all. And just another one of those plays that didn't go the Jays' way.
No. One moment I don't think I ever would see in my life was I saw Max Scherzer wipe a tear from his eye. Postgame. Like, honestly, I'm not making fun of them in any way. Like, it's emotional. But so you have Scherzer, Bassett, IKF, Bo, Ty France, Bieber, even Shapiro and John Schneider and Sir Anthony Dominguez, all free agents after this. Aside from Bo, obviously we know Bo was amazing. Is there one of those guys that you would look at or see how they could, maybe you'd want to have them on the team? I don't even know how to ask that politely without putting you in an awkward scenario.
Well, I know Bass and
Bass forever.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not too privy or keen to what the Jays have like knocking at the door in the minor leagues. Like, I didn't know about Trey until Trey got to the big leagues.
I don't think most people did.
Well, I mean, I'm sure people in the organization did. Like, he was a first rounder. He flew up. I'm sure he was cruising through the minor leagues. But so you got Gossi, you got Trey. Is Barrios back?
Yeah.
It was a weird thing, by the way. I didn't see him at the games at all. I know he was hurt, but I don't know. It was that was a weird thing that I'm sure there's more to it. But anyway, so you got Barrios, you got Trey, you got Gossi. And I think that's it for the rotation, right? So they're going to be looking to probably go get another starting piece. I don't know. Again, I'm not sure. Lauer, I know Lauer was great starting. I'm not sure if he's back, but that could be your 5 guys. So what I'm trying to get at is I think Bassett would be a great addition back to the team because, one, he's proven that he can be a really good pitcher for you, eat up innings, be healthy for the most part. But 2, like, look what he did in the postseason. Like, if you need him to go in the pen and be a kind of a swing man or even like a 7-8 inning guy, he's proven that he can do that and do it at a really high level. So I think that's a great fit. I think it'd be a great guy to bring back just from a clubhouse standpoint as well. So that would be the one guy I would point at that I would imagine they will engage with pretty strongly.
Yeah, it'd be great to see them all back, but I really enjoy that answer. I was trying not to put you in a scenario where I'm like, if you don't say Bassett, I'm going to fly down to where you are and tackle you. Before we get to fans on deck, also fun thing. So I was on a charter flight with Buck and Dan and them on the way back from Los Angeles, which never flown charter before. That was fun, let me tell you. But yeah, you do it all the time.
It was really bad. Don't do that again.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm not cool or hip. I am embarrassed for myself. But the reason I'm saying this is because when we're sitting there, it wasn't them, but like people around had a plan, a potential parade celebration. So just so everybody knows, Tuesday, if they won in Game 7, would have been the parade. So feel free to take that day off from work and reminisce on how awesome this team truly was. And they're great people. But my last Game 7 little note I wanted to share was something behind the scenes before we get to fans on deck was with Clayton Kershaw, who I just thought it was cool. I got to see him pitch in his last game ever as a Dodgers in Dodger Stadium. Like, he's a legend. He's a future Hall of Famer. But he walked through the media entrance where, as you know, some players go through that gate as well. There'll be fans around. But he came when all the media was there. So when he walked through, security stopped him. I let him go first because I knew it was Clayton. And security stopped him. They're like, do you have any idea? I'm like, no. So you see that blue cap? That's them stopping him. And and he's like, he was so polite about it. Like, he could have an ego and yell, and he like brings out his wallet and they're stopping, and I'm yelling, and I have a Mickey Mouse voice and no one can hear him. Like, he's a player.
That's funny.
Like,
That's funny.
He just politely waited with the media to take the elevator rather than asking to take the elevator on his own, which you guys can. But that was pretty neat. Clayton Kershaw, before he would go on and win a World Series with the team, wasn't almost allowed in.
Before we get to fans on deck, I'll say one thing about a parallel that I really see between two teams that I probably know that without playing on or the most familiar with. And I think between the 2014 Kansas City Royals and this team, there are so many parallels to where they were a team that kind of burst onto the scene, kind of fought their way, scrapped their way to the World Series, lost in Game 7 at home to a team that had a all-time pitching performance from a pitcher. Theirs was Madison Bumgarner, who threw 2 games and then came in Game 7 to close the game and win it. Kind of same with Yamamoto. That was unbelievable what he did. So
Yeah.
that happened, and then Kansas City went on to win the World Series in 2015. So Kansas City had pretty much their whole core come back. Toronto's got basically their whole core coming back. If you look at Vladdy and Kirky and George and Varsho and Ernie. So TBD on Bo, but there's a lot of similarities there, a lot of parallels, and don't be surprised if the Blue Jays have another good year next year.
I hope so. As you know, they're so much fun to cover. They're fun to be around, and they can't help but cheer for like Davis and Ernie and Heineman, all these guys. I'm happy for them. I'm not sad about this season. It was really fun to cover, and I can't believe I covered the World Series. But let's get to fans on deck. A lot of questions. We'll go through a couple now. We'll start off with Sal, who says, how does one move on from heartbreak this big? So when Julian Huff did not call you, how did you move on from that heartbreak?
Well, I mean, you like a human processes heartbreak. You just kind of go through it. You're upset, and then you grieve it, and you kind of just gradually get through it. And then you start, you get around your family, you get away from the game, all the other stuff in your life kind of starts taking over for a little bit, which eases the pain. And then you start working towards the next year, and you either use it as a little bit of fuel, and some guys it sticks with, some guys it'll stick with forever, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just part of being a human. So there's no right way to answer it. Everybody deals with grief differently, and this is no different.
Yeah, I just ignore that things ever happen and move on. So let's go to Jade's question as I move on. Do you think we'll be back here next year, meaning the World Series?
Yeah, I mean, I think you should have told me this was a question. I wouldn't have just gone through my Kansas City.
I can't do that. It's a surprise.
The Kansas City parallel a minute ago.
I'll act like you didn't say it and retell it. I'll act like I care.
Let's cut what I say about Kansas City and insert it into this answer. How's that?
Long story short is you believe yes. So that's great.
Long story short is they have experience now. They have their core coming back. They have an organization that is not scared to spend some money, and I think they will go out and get better, or at least try to get better. And I don't think that it would be a surprise to anybody to see the Jays deep in the postseason next year.
Andrew asks, how many millions do you think Bo earned with that swing of the bat? And do you think Max is coming back for one more, right?
Hopefully a lot of millions, because I get 1% for hyping him up, right?
That's true. You all said he should get a $10 billion contract before?
Yeah, what did I say? I said what, 8-figure or something, like 7-figure? No, I said 10-figure. That's what it was. I said 10-figure. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe I will say, if it did earn him more money, that more money is going to come from the Blue Jays. I think that other teams maybe won't value that swing as much as the Blue Jays will, and I think that if the Blue Jays were on the fence a little bit before about Bo, I think they're definitely not on the fence as much anymore.
You kind of answered this question already, so don't give me grief. Matt asked, do you think the Jays will have the same opening roster next season?
For the most part. Yeah, for the most part. Especially on opening day. I think you'll see Gossi pitching, Kirky catching, Vladdy at first, Jimenez at second, maybe Bo at short, Ernie at third. Lukey in left, Varsho in center, Santander in right, and George at DH. So yeah, I think it's basically, from a position player standpoint, unless they go and make a trade and bring in somebody like a huge name, I don't see them doing much position player wise.
I'm terrible. I forgot Tony Taters was on the team until you just said that. I'm so sorry. I have to admit it. I was like, what? He'll be great. I hope he has a great, healthy season next year. I cannot wait to see what Trey Savage does. Like, I don't even care that they didn't win. Make a movie out of this team or whatever you guys want, because it's just such an inspirational story and of good people. And you're like, when Trey did what he did, I'm like, what in the heck is happening right now in life?
Let me tell you this, because I need to tell you specifically, because you're a little Miss Giddy head in the clouds. What Trey did was incredible, and Trey is an incredible pitcher, and I think he'll have a long, successful, great career and make hundreds of millions of dollars and win awards and all this stuff. It will not always be like what happened in the playoffs. He will struggle. He will go through struggles, and he might have an ERA close to 4 1 year. It doesn't mean he's not a stud. It's not everybody's freaking Paul Skeens and can just roll out of bed and have a sub-2 every year. And Trey might. He might. But that is definitely not the norm. And so when he struggles, don't forget what happened during this postseason, and don't forget that he is a really good pitcher.
Bro, are you also going to tell me Santa Claus isn't real? Like, why are you taking the air out of my tires? Yeah, I thought so. Ho, ho, ho.
I just have to, because everybody gets so high and then so low, and everybody's so down. Like with the Jays, like everybody's so. I know. I'm just speaking to you, but I'm speaking through you.
Oh, okay.
But you're on the other side of the camera. But it's like when the Jays struggle, everybody's all down on the Jays. I'm like, look, this is a good team. This is a good team. This is how baseball works. You have ups and downs. You have to ride the roller coaster and be even keel. People love being even keel. Just check my Twitter comments. See how even keel people are. X comments.
No, I'm going with Twitter. I think X is such a dumb name. Enjoy that comment, Elon.
You got to respect it.
No, I don't.
It's like spelling my name. You don't spell my name with 2 T's. You call it what it is. It's called X now.
No.
Why don't I just say it with Spanish accent? I don't know. But it is.
I was not going to call you on that until after we were done recording.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah. Emily, it's not so much fans on deck, but just really wanted to say a message of how proud that she is of this team and how they really brought her family together. They would watch family dinners together. And that is actually really most of the comments that are not from stupid people that have nothing better in life to think about have been so positive towards the Blue Jays and how they've united their faith in baseball or like brought their family or friends together. And it's been coast to coast. So she just wanted to share. And she also loves the podcast. Probably just you, but shout out to Emily for writing that in.
I thought she was going to say she was so proud of us. But, the Jays is nothing to be proud of. It's good to be proud of. No, it's great. It was great. Whenever you have a good team that you follow, or that's why sports are so awesome. It just brings everybody together, That's why I want my Gamecocks to be good so bad. So bad.
Oh, man, they are not. I briefly looked at that score when it was happening because I know it puts you. No, because I know that because if you're just joining us, Whit gets real pissy if his team loses and Ole Miss.
You know what's next for me to get pissy about? Starting tomorrow, November 3rd, which would be today when the podcast gets released.
Look at you,
8 o'clock Eastern time. Wake Forest basketball tips off. The start of the season, start of the Final Four run. That's when winter comes. Wake basketball. In the fall, Gamecock football.
Let's go.
Me and Dan talk about this all the time. It's great.
I can't wait to have him on to talk about it. Do you know, how is the team looking this year? Where are they projected or anything?
It's always difficult with the way college sports is now with all the transfers. Yep. But the 2 exhibitions that we have had have been extremely promising, and I've been over to practice. I know the coach pretty well, so we hang out and talk. But I'm excited. I'm definitely excited.
When I have a field trip to go visit the cows that are on your property, I would also like to meet the coach of. No, I didn't think so. Don't unfollow me on socials. But speaking of socials, tell the people what to do.
Subscribe, comment nicely. I'm tired of replying to dumb people. Please don't be a dumb person. Comment something dumb.
Hold on, you don't respond to me. What does that mean?
What else did I say? Right? I said press the heart, press the subscribe. Watch us.
Nice comments. Yeah.
Follow us. Add us to your podcast list that you want to listen to. And yeah, even though that the season is over, we will still talk about it some and figure out what's going on in the offseason and talk basketball, talk golf, talk football, talk about all the things that are happening. Well, I'm just rambling. I don't know. It's help.
You are. We're so. I know that this is amazing. This is amazing. I'm like, keep going, buddy. How long are you gonna go for? But the comments that I would actually like to hear from people is what was their favorite moment from the World Series, even if you happen to be a Dodgers fan listening. Because I'm curious. Because for everybody, it's a little bit different what moment they would like, or maybe they went with a family member or something. Like I know somebody. I don't even want to know how much they spent to be in the general admission at Rogers Center for Game 7, but they said even though they lost, it was like the best day of their life in there. So I would love for those comments, and then also spell Whit's name right because I don't like dealing with him when he's angry. But anyways, thank you for listening for another episode of 6 Inning Stretch. He's Whit, I'm Linz. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching this video. If you want more interviews, analysis, or Blue Jays news from the 6 Inning Stretch, make sure to hit the subscribe button below or watch more of our content over here.